Welcome you all to the video lecture on Fundamentals of Programming, Unit 1, Structure of a C Program. Let's move on to the topic. First, let's see about the introduction of C program. C is a procedural language, that is procedural programming language. It was initially developed by Dennis Ritchie in the year 1972. It was mainly developed as a system programming language to write an operating system. Now, let's see the structure of a C program. The structure of a C program starts with a header, then the main function, then the variable declaration, body of the program, and finally the return statement. So we can see one by one in the forthcoming slides. Header file inclusion. A header file is a file that has an extension .h. It contains all the C functions, declarations, and macro definitions that is to be shared between several source files. For example, if you're going to use input and output functions in the program, such as printf and scanf, printf which is an output function and scanf which is an input function, that is we get an input from the user. For printf, you use printf for printing the information on the screen. So for that we use a header. We'll include a header file called stdio.h, which contains all the input and output functions. Similarly, if you need to perform any mathematical functions, you go for math.h. If you need to handle any string functions, you need to go for string.h. So depending upon your requirement, you need to include your header file. This syntax for including the header file is #include space your header file, that is the file which you're going to include in the program. The next is main method declaration. The execution in every program, the execution starts from the main function. The syntax for declaring the main function is int main open and close bracket. So all the codes, that is the body of the code, will come within these brackets. The next is variable declaration. It refers to the variables that you're going to use in the function. In C program, no variable can be used without being declared. So before you're using the variable in the function, it must be declared. So here there's an example. As I said, the execution starts with the main block, and whatever the code you're going to write, you need to write the body of the program within the open and close curly brackets. So the first step is we're going to declare the variable. So here we have declared a variable called a of type int. Body of the program. It refers to the operations that are performed in the function. In the previous slide, we saw the variable declaration. So once the variable is declared, we can start with the operation with the variables. So it can be anything like manipulation, searching, sorting, printing, etc. Here we give an example for the body of a program. Here, so the first step is the declaration, that is a variable a is of type int is declared because I'm going to use the a in the program. So before using a, we need to declare the a, and then in the printf statement we are printing the value of a. The return statement. The return statement refers to the returning of the values from a function. For example, if the return type is void, there will not be any return statement. But in case if the return type is any other type other than the void, then the function must return a value of that specified return type. Here int main, int is of type integer, so the function returns a value of type int, that is it returns a value 0. If we have mentioned void main, the function will not return any value.